Introduction, The Battle Within. Some of the hardest battles we ever fight are not with the world, but within our own minds. They are the silent wars waged between strength and doubt, hope and despair, calm and chaos. Life rarely moves according to our plans. It throws storms without warning, testing the limits of our patience and resilience. But the Stoics believed that within these storms lies a hidden power, the power to shape our inner world, no matter what happens in the outer one. They understood that the key to peace and strength doesn't lie in changing what we cannot control but in mastering how we respond. Imagine developing a mindset so unshakable that no hardship, betrayal, or failure could truly harm you. That is the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy forged in the fires of adversity, teaching us how to endure, to grow, and to live with purpose. Today, we'll uncover 12 timeless Stoic lessons to help you build the kind of strength that can withstand anything life sends your way. So before we begin, take a moment to support Sculpted Grace. Subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and walk with us as we explore how to turn pain into wisdom, and hardship into harmony. 1. Embrace challenges, the forge of strength. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity in disguise. To the Stoics, challenges were not interruptions to life, they were life itself, the raw material for growth. When things go wrong, most people curse their luck or retreat into fear, but the Stoic sees something else, a chance to practice virtue. Whether it's patience when stuck in traffic, resilience when grieving, or courage when afraid, each challenge reveals the strength of your character. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This means that life's difficulties aren't punishments, they're invitations to rise higher than before. Practically, embracing challenges begins with perception. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the Stoic asks, "What can I learn from this?" Shift your focus from the pain of the moment to the lesson it carries. See failure as a teacher, not an enemy. By doing so, even hardship becomes useful, a weight that strengthens your spiritual muscles. You'll find that when you stop resisting challenges and start engaging with them calmly, you develop a quiet power. You no longer break when life bends you, you reshape yourself instead. 2. The power of ideas over wealth. True wealth isn't measured by what fills your hands, but by what fills your mind. The Stoics saw material possessions as fleeting useful tools, but never the foundation of happiness. Money can buy comfort, but not contentment. Possessions can decorate your life, but they cannot define your worth. Seneca warned, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Ideas, wisdom, and creativity, these are treasures that can never be taken away. In today's world, it's easy to get lost in comparison, to chase what everyone else has. But Stoicism calls us to create rather than consume, to think deeply rather than follow blindly. Ask yourself, are you enriching your mind, or just your surroundings? A rich life begins with rich thoughts, ideas that challenge you, shape you, and help others. When you value wisdom over wealth, your life stops being about accumulation and starts being about contribution. Because the truest legacy isn't the one you leave in your bank account, it's the one you leave in hearts and minds. 3. Creating your own path. The Stoics believed that freedom begins when you stop living by others' expectations. You cannot live a virtuous life while trying to please everyone. Creating your own path means having the courage to act on your values, not the world's noise. It requires brutal honesty about who you are and what you truly want. Are your choices guided by fear of judgment or by clarity of purpose? Stoicism reminds us that happiness is alignment when your actions reflect your principles. Creating your path doesn't mean isolation, it means integrity. You'll face resistance, doubt, and misunderstanding, but those are signs you're walking your own road. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Each decision you make becomes a brick in the foundation of your character. And the more you act from your values rather than emotion or approval, the stronger that foundation grows. A Stoic doesn't drift, they direct. 4. Adapting to change. Change is life's only constant, yet most people fight it like a losing battle. The Stoics accepted that nothing is permanent, not joy, not pain, not even life itself. Trying to resist change is like trying to hold back the tide with your hands. Epictetus taught the dichotomy of control to separate what's in our control from what isn't. 5. Developing long-term vision. The Stoic life is not about reacting to every passing impulse, it's about building something that lasts. Without vision, you drift. Without purpose, you decay. A long-term vision gives direction to every choice and meaning to every sacrifice. It acts as your internal compass, keeping you aligned when distractions or setbacks arise. Seneca said, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." To develop vision, reflect deeply on what truly matters to you, what virtues you want to embody, and what legacy you want to leave. Your vision should stretch beyond comfort or success, it should root itself in contribution and integrity. And when the world tests your patience, remember that progress takes time. A Stoic builds not for applause, but for endurance. Stay consistent, stay grounded, and each day will become a step toward the person you were meant to become. 6. Practicing self-reflection. The Stoics practiced self-examination daily, not out of guilt, but out of wisdom. They knew that an unexamined life drifts aimlessly, but a reflective one evolves with purpose. Each night, they would review the day. What did I do well? What could I do better? This wasn't punishment, it was progress. Self-reflection helps you see where emotion overtook reason, and where fear disguised itself as caution. Through reflection, you become your own teacher. You stop blaming the world and start refining yourself. It also deepens gratitude because even mistakes become lessons. Stoicism reminds us that wisdom isn't about knowing everything, but about understanding ourselves clearly. By observing your thoughts and reactions, you gain control over them. And in that control, you find peace not from the absence of chaos, but from mastery within it. 7. Utilizing adversity. The Stoics viewed adversity not as punishment, but as preparation. Every hardship is a classroom where life teaches resilience. When something painful happens, it's easy to ask, why me? But the Stoic asks, what now? Every loss, rejection, or failure becomes a chance to practice endurance and perspective. Adversity doesn't weaken you, it reveals what you've built within. When life grows difficult, remember that pressure creates diamonds. The Stoics trained themselves to use adversity as exercise. 9. Cultivating gratitude. Gratitude, for the Stoics, was not reserved for good times. It was a way of seeing the world even in hardship. They taught that everything, whether pleasant or painful, serves a purpose in our growth. When you're grateful, even suffering becomes meaningful. Seneca said, "He who is ungrateful is unhappy in the present, for he has ceased to see the blessings he possesses." Cultivating gratitude transforms how you see life. Each morning, reflect on what remains: your breath, your strength, your ability to begin again. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, your perspective shifts from scarcity to sufficiency. And in that shift, peace is born. Gratitude grounds the mind, humbles the ego, and invites joy into even the simplest moments. It reminds us that every day is both a gift and a responsibility. 10. Leading through example. Stoic leadership is not about dominance, it's about integrity. The Stoics believed that before you can lead others, you must first master yourself. A true leader doesn't demand loyalty, they inspire it through consistent virtue. They govern not by power, but by principle. Their influence flows from character, not control. To lead the Stoic way means to live your philosophy, not preach it. People are moved not by speeches, but by sincerity. By practicing patience, fairness, and humility, you set a silent example that speaks louder than authority. Leadership, in this sense, is service to truth, to others, and to the greater good. When you embody these virtues, your life becomes the message. 11. Living with purpose. For the Stoics, purpose was the heartbeat of existence. A life without it is like a ship lost at sea, moving, but going nowhere. They believed that our highest calling is to live according to nature, reason, and virtue. This means aligning what you do with who you truly are. When you know your purpose, even suffering becomes bearable because it's part of something greater. Living with purpose requires reflection and courage. It asks you to look beyond comfort and convenience and choose meaning instead. When every action serves your deeper values, life stops feeling random, it feels deliberate. And in that alignment, peace arises. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Stop wandering.